Hi everybody, welcome back. On this video here, I want to show you something very important. JavaScript has a whole bunch of built-in functions. I already told you that, but what you don't know is that we can use those functions to do many great, amazing things that we can't otherwise do unless we write a whole bunch of lines of code and we are this really big on JavaScript as a developer, as a programmer. Unless you have years and years of experience in JavaScript, you won't be able to write those functions, all right? But JavaScript helps us out do this. All right, let me show you exactly what I mean. Let me show you how to get access to those built-in functions right now. This is a bonus lecture. I wasn't planning on giving you guys this, but every time I think about just ending the course, I figure out that you need something else. But hopefully this is enough information for you guys to be happy with this introductory course. So it was supposed to be short, but it's not anymore. So but anyways, let's make a file here on my desktop. I'm gonna call it built-in functions, and I already have this here in your exercise file, so don't worry about it. You will have this file. It's gonna be very important, so make sure that you look for it when you download it. So built-in functions, actually let's do this in the desktop right here, and let's just, all right, this is fine right here. I don't never put titles. I should put a title. Built-in functions right here. All right, and we do a script tag. Okay, we are ready. Now the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to open a browser, and my whole screen just got dark. All right, so now we are ready, right? We're ready to ramble. But now before we do that, I want to show you a website that I found, and I found this a long time ago, but I just found it again. It's really good to reference built-in functions. And if you type it built-in functions from JavaScript and you go to this site here, you're gonna see that they have a whole bunch of different methods, and methods are just like functions, all right, that you can use for JavaScript. Look at this one, to lowercase. You click on it and it's gonna give you an example of what you can do with it. All right, so let me just show you how to use one right now. You're gonna love this one, which is, I think, is a really cool function, and it's to get the date. All right, so for example, let's say you want the date, right? So let's make a variable, because the date is an object. And right now this is outside the scope of this course, but know that an object in JavaScript has many different properties that you can access. And it's like they make a function, right? This is what they do. Or when I'm saying they, I mean the developers of JavaScript or any programming language. They make a function called, I don't know, object. All right, this is what an object is. And inside this function, they have a bunch of properties and functionalities and everything like that, and then they make this whole function into an object that you can access anytime you like. And most of the time you access this object with a dot notation, say object, and then you call the method. All right, and that's how you access most of those objects, and we're going to access one of these objects right now. I'm going to show you. Now again, this is outside the scope of this. This is a bonus lecture, and it's not included like a part of this course. It's just a bonus, and I would probably be making an advanced course if I find out you guys like this course. All right, so let's call this time. I'm gonna declare a variable because we need a variable to hold this function, this object. All right, so I'm gonna access the object called date, capital. All right, make sure that it's capital D right here. If you don't put capital D, it will not work. And then close it with a semicolon. Now we have the object there. Now we need to access the methods, all right, the functionality, the properties of that object. All right, so how we do that? We declare another variable because we're going to hold that. We're going to get the seconds right now. All right, so if you go here to this website here, and I'm going to just look for it. Let me see. And I'm going to say date object. It's not finding anything for me right here. Actually, I'm in the wrong place. Let's go back another page and let's look for it right now. So date, there we go. We're gonna see all the date methods right here. This is all the information we can pull out of that date object. All right, we can even set the information, set the date, the hours, because right now this function, this object is just gonna give me whatever time is in my clock in my computer. So if I say seconds here, and I'm gonna call these seconds, and the way that I access the seconds from this object, because it has the seconds, the time, the date, the month, the year, all that information in there. The way I access the seconds out of it is I gotta use the right here this variable again, because this variable contains the object, and then I use a dot notation just like I told you before, and then we use the method, and the method for this is get seconds with a capital S, and let's put the S here, because if I don't put the S it doesn't work. It has to be exactly like this because it's already defined inside the browser. It's a built in JavaScript. All right. So now we got the seconds of this data object. All right. So you see how we got it? We got it with the variable right here, which is equal to this data object, and we use a dot notation to get it out of there. And now we can just alert it. I'm going to document write it on the screen. All right. And let's just say seconds, and then we refresh. Actually, let's save it first and see if it works. All right, it's making me look really bad right now. I'm missing something here, and okay, the S right here. Let's refresh right here. You can't see it, it's small. All right, it's not going more than that. So it was 2 seconds. If I refresh it again, 11 seconds. If I refresh it again, all right, every time I refresh a page, I get a new second on it right there. You see that? Because it's using the clock I got in my computer to get the seconds out of that data object. All right, and there are many different methods that you can use, not just the date. All right, I'm just giving you an example here. All right, you can use from the date object. From here, you can convert a number to a string. You can splice things, remove elements from an array. This is array methods that you can use with arrays. You can put something at the end of the array. You can put it back. I mean, right here with the push and the pop. You can join things. You can join arrays with this. And I mean, there are so many different things here. I just wanted to show you this resource here because I think it's gonna be very useful for your JavaScript career, programming career. All right. So just know that there are many methods, and all you got to do is actually practice. If you click on this, remember that you can get some information how you can access, how you can use this. All right. Very simple to do. You can just copy right here this whole thing. All right, and you can come and right there. Well, we got to do it in another line because, and then you can come here and refresh. As you can see here, we're getting the length out of this string right here. Right here. So if I write something else here, the string changes. You see the length is already changing. So what they did here was very simple. All right, they use this function, the new string right here, this method. I think it's a method right here. Right here is a method. And as you can see, the method, they put it with the dot notation, and they got the length out of it. You can get the length of anything on JavaScript with this method right here, the length. All right, really cool, right? So anyways, I want to thank you for coming this far, and I want to congratulate you because not a lot of people make it this far. That means that you are serious. And again, if this was of any value to you, make a discussion, let me know, and that way, I know that I'm doing a good job. Again, thank you, and I'll see you in the next lecture. Good luck with your programming career.